No filter, I ain't Instagram. We're gonna make the ass boys retire like Vince McMahon. Bravo! I'm Tom Renton with my review of AEW Dynamite from Columbus, Ohio, home of the Buckeyes, the Ohio State University. Can't just be a Ohio State University. Can't let any old schlubs just call themselves a university. We have to be the singular Ohio State University. Enough collegiate talk. Let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. Not everything was perfect, but as far as cohesion and stuff making sense, there was some good stuff on this show, and hopefully the good stuff continues to happen on Dynamite and even on Rampage, because they're heading into a pay-per-view in about a month. And it's going to be certainly interesting to see how that show draws. I mean, it's no doubt going to be, a hot goddamn crowd. And speaking of hot crowds, this crowd was pretty goddamn hot. But then again, AEW crowds generally, not always. There have been a few tepid crowds, especially since they came back just over a year ago going on, the live touring schedule. But AEW crowds traditionally are a lot more energetic, and this crowd really was no exception. So we have Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and Taz on commentary. And we start off with Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal. Okay, makes sense as far as storyline. These two were part of a 6-man tag that happened on Rampage. Okay, cool. Crowd was into it, and it was the same stuff from Cassidy. Same usual stuff, but all right. Cassidy can work. Not a fan of the gimmick, but he can work. Lethal can work. So, all right, we keep the comedy to a minimum. Give him about 10 minutes. Just let him go full blast. Just let him do their stuff. Cassidy's going to do his usual stuff. But then, oh wait, Giant Silva Jr. shows up. And then you can, because they can't frame this correctly, you can see the best friends ready to do their spot just standing there in the entranceway. Couldn't even stand to the side and say, oh yeah, okay, go. Giant Silva Jr. is about 2,000 feet tall, so they do the old sneak into the movie theater thing where they're wearing a long trench coat like they're ready to flash an old woman in the goddamn park. And it's Taylor and Trent on top of each other. Well, I think it was Trent on top of Chuck's shoulders. And they were doing the whole thing like pointing and all this and everything. And now it's stupid. Now it's fucking goddamn stupid. If the best friends were not on television for 6 months, I wouldn't miss him. And that's nothing against Trent. He's a fine athlete, but just the shtick is old. Speaking of old, look, by then I was checked out of the goddamn match. Lethal did target the knee. Cassidy sold it. Kept trying to go for the big move. Anytime he could hit something big, he couldn't, get the 3 count quick enough. He just could not cover to get that victory. And eventually he fell to the lethal injection. There you go. That's pretty much it right there. And then Dutt comes down with Giant Silva Jr. and does a comedic, over-the-top interview voice. Whoa, what's going to happen? What do you think of Wardlow? Wardlow came down, he did this and everything, and, confronted you after what we did, on Rampage. And then they mentioned Wardlow. Well, the best friends come down first because they're going to beat up Orange Cassidy. Here's Wardlow. And basically there's a little bit of back and forth where Wardlow wants to beat up Jay Lethal. And it's going to be at Battle of the Belts 3. And then Wardlow says it really doesn't matter when it's going to be because Wardlow's going to whoop that ass. All right. Hopefully they can actually push Wardlow as far as like more in a positive direction. Since the whole thing with MJF, him winning the TNT Championship was a good idea. Him winning that title was good. And since then it's been kind of weird. They just figure out a singular focus. The guy can work. He's over with the crowd. Just do something good with this, and then push it to the forefront at All Out. Give him a big match. Give him a big win, and just keep the momentum going. So, speaking of the momentum continuing to go, FTW Championship recaps. One recently by Hook, and then here's the Undisputed Elite. And guess who's back? It's Adam Cole, baby. Yes, Adam Cole, baby. It's Kyle O'Reilly. It's Bobby Fish, the man who I think really remembers the Alamo. That's how old he is. And the Bucks. The fuck was Nick Jackson wearing? I don't know who told him that was a good idea. If he thought that was a good idea, he should have been talked out of it. Somebody should have talked somebody out of suggesting that goddamn outfit to him. Like, fucking hell. Burn it. Burn it. Never do it again. Stop. Don't do this anymore. Okay, this is another thing that I know what they were trying to do, and sure, it might be shocking if I really cared about anybody involved here. They're all friends. Cole is still not medically cleared. Neither is Kyle O'Reilly. Talks friendship, loyalty, and loyalty is everything. Da 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 da. So about this trios tourney. Hey, Buck, since I'm not cleared and O'Reilly's not cleared, you got to choose Bobby Fischer. He can't be in the tournament. Wait, I misspoke. He says, what I meant was you won't be physically capable of being in a tournament. Oh no, he is cleared. So's O'Reilly. So's Fish. They attacked the Bucks. They beat up Cutler for what he's worth. Nothing. And here's Hangman Page in a pipe and Bullet with butterfly jeans. That's basically what it was. He just has butterflies all over his jeans. Whatever. Hey, you got to be tough to pull off something like that. And could we have Hangman and the Bucks teaming up in the Trios tournament? Possibly, because it doesn't seem like Omega is going to be coming back anytime soon, which, honestly, Omega can just continue to heal. He can never come back. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't want anything bad to happen to him, but I don't miss him on the program at all. So maybe we get we get Hangman and the Bucks back together. Cool. For people to like it, that's great. Things pick up a little bit, though, where Moxley talks about Jericho versus Yuta. Doesn't care who wins. He's going to be, because when the bell rings, he has no friends. And says when the Blackpool Combat, or when the BCC is done, we're going to make the Heart Dungeon look like a daycare. Okay, Moxley. I like Moxley, but sometimes I think he means what he says. I don't know if he knows what he means. So then, we have earlier today, Shivani with Christian, and Christian's talking about, Jungle Boy brought my personal life into this. I would never do that, being the smarmy heel. And then Jungle Boy nearly runs him over, and then is trying to beat him up, trying to, get at him, but the cops are stopping him and everything, because he is not allowed there, because he's not part of the show, apparently, something. What? So Britt makes her entrance with Jamie Hayter, my goodness, so good. And Rebel. Rebel's also there. And Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa. Gee, I wonder if you can guess who the fuck I was rooting for in this. They started the women a lot earlier. They usually start them in the second hour with about 30 to 40 minutes left. They gave them some time. They gave them a lot of goddamn time. I was really fucking happy that they gave these 4 women a chance to showcase what they can do. I love Thunder Rosa. What a fucking talent. Tremendous champion. I wish they would, prop up her reign more, because she has put in the hard work, not just here, but in other companies. Tony Storm's a tremendous talent. Britt is a great character and gimmick. She's not bad in the ring. She's probably the least of the 4 in this. Jamie Hayter hits like a fucking freight train. She's great. And I did like the sandbagging shirt that Thunder Rosa was wearing. That was a nice touch. And Jumpstart, Jamie Hayter and Tony Storm just apparently were laying shit in each other. Tony Storm even got a shirt thrown at her. Who throws a shirt? Honestly, in all honesty, though, I think these women made a pact. Hey, we're not gonna try to break anything, but let's just go full blast. They were clubbing each other, dropping each other, safely. But they were just hitting lariats, hitting throws, hitting punches, hitting strikes. They were laying this shit in. There was some good stuff here. There was a little bit of an awkward distraction spot a little bit earlier. Or about halfway through the match, it was a little bit rough. Rosa seemed extra motivated, laying in that drop kick in the ropes. Great stuff here. Great pace. Well done. Well done. Bravo. Again, all 4 of these women can work. Jamie got targeted for a while, and then Britt took over on Rosa, and then Rosa got the hot tag to Tony. And Tony just lays out everybody. Goes up and knocks out a popcorn vendor, knocks out a cotton candy vendor, takes a cotton candy and hits a kid in the face. No, she didn't. She just was going absolutely balls to the wall crazy with her energy and going nuts. Shows Rebel on her goddamn ass. By the way, just bless the cameramen for the work that they did during this. Bless the cameramen. If you know, you know. The Avalanche air raid crash was nice. It's just a shame we had to get through a really bad distraction spot. Badly timed to get to that. And then we get a lariat, a stomp. Rosa just comes from nowhere and hits a drop kick to the back of Jamie Hayter's head. That was fucking brutal. And safely done, but just I'm like, just the whiplash, the brutal shots that they were taking. And then everybody get in here, melee, ba 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 ba. They're just hitting each other with these moves, keeping the pace going. And then Tony using the power of the booty, boom, boom, boom. But then Thunder Rosa gets pulled in an inadvertent bump, and Tony ends up getting hit with a lariat. 1, 2, 3. Good match. Jamie Hayter gained the victory. That was a nice chance to get her to shine. Thunder Rosa, what a hell of a talent. Hey, great stuff. Great stuff from all 4 of these women. This is the kind of stuff that AEW should be doing with their women more often. Cut down some of these matches that shouldn't be going so long. This felt big. This got a lot of time, and I'm happy for it. Utilize some of the women more. Prop up your women's division. Don't make it 50-50, but make the women's division mean more, and you'll actually see growth in it. As opposed to just a few women that are really talented, some that have potential, and then everybody else is just down here. Let's elevate it. Anyway, that being said, pretty good stuff. And then Sammy and Ty Conte are getting married. Remember when Sammy proposed to his, at the time, girlfriend sometime last year? And Ty Conte was married at the time? Oh, how a year can change things. Then Eddie Kingston cuts off the goddamn thing and says, why is this happening? You're getting married, Sammy. Congratulations. No one cares. And he talks about how Tony Khan gave him a contract. And he signed it. And he sent it to Sammy. Sign the contract. See you at the pay-per-view. Short, sweet, to the point. So, Taz doesn't know what the hell's going on with Team Taz, so Team Taz is done. Okay. I mean, he wishes them nothing but the best, but there you go. He's tired of basically managing this island of misfit toys. That's fine. So, Hobbs comes out with new music and new gear and destroys a guy named Ren Jones while yelling, "Where's Ricky?" He beats him quickly with... He just basically gloms him and beats him. And then here's Starks. They have a bit of a scuffle. Referee tries to get in between them. Starks shoves the ref. Spinebuster. And Hobbs leaves. There you go. Build that up to the pay-per-view. The only thing is they wrote themselves into a corner. Both guys need a big win. And they haven't done them. They've done a good job as far as trying to make this feel personal. And it sort of makes sense as far as like Starks having taken the pin in multiple tag matches. Maybe Hobbs felt like, okay, you've been holding me back. We still haven't gotten an explanation. Bit of a logic loophole there. But that being said, they're building this up as far as action pretty well. And then Miro talks about God and, well, how evil doesn't wear a mask. And that he's not sure what the message, what message he's receiving. Obviously, he's going to maybe, have to turn away from the darkness after the mist got him in the face, but who knows? That being said, it wasn't his best pre-tape, but he's usually pretty good at doing this. If he's writing this stuff himself, it's pretty damn good. Darby then tattoos his own hand while talking about Brody, or Brody King, and it's a coffin match next week. JR comes out for hour 2. Christian Cage versus Matt Hardy. Okay, I know why, because Christian had Luchasaurus, he sicked him on Matt Hardy. Matt can't go anymore. This was sad. They used a table. It wasn't a DQ. The referee just looking the other way. At one point, Christian does a diving headbutt. A Canadian doing a diving headbutt. Elisa's wife got away. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case in June 2007. Had to say it. Couldn't help it. And eventually, kill switch 1, 2, 3. Matt can't fucking go anymore. He just fucking can't. Then he's going to do a concerto. Christian is. But then Luchasaurus shows up. Just to distract so Jungle Boy can almost get him. And then whoa, 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 whoa. So, Shivani's there with Garcia. He's calling himself the Dragon Slayer. As a friend of mine pointed out, shades of Steve Austin with Ricky Steamboat. Great feud, by the way. I don't know. I don't mind Garcia. I think him being featured on TV this much. I don't know. I don't know. He's technically sound in the ring, but whatever. This isn't quite clicking for me. Probably because the Jericho Appreciation Society is really bad. And then footage of Pac facing some guy. It was Connor Mills, I think. And Kip Sabian, they acknowledge that Kip Sabian's wearing that box on his face. and following people. I mean, good on Kip Sabian. I hope he can actually be featured. Apparently his injury was somewhat bad because he was out for a while. Or maybe they just didn't have much for him and they just wanted him to do this stuff because he's been in this for a while, like this whole setup and, gear or like just a suit and wearing a box on his head. Well, I hope something good can come out of it, but I don't really care. But Ethan Page was all fired up and everything, asking why he isn't being taken seriously, what the hell's going on, why, the fans care about others instead of him. Stokely shows up and just stands there for a while, and then Ethan sees him. It's easy to overlook Stokely since he's about 4 feet tall. And then he hands him his card. Okay. That was pretty much it. It wasn't a bad promo from Ethan. And Shivani's with Parker and Mad Daddy Mac Dad. I don't know. The former 2.0 guys and Anna Jay. Okay. I'm sure that Anna Jay is trying her best here. Get her a mouthpiece. If you were going to give her stuff where she's just screeching at people, this isn't a good idea. And that's nothing against Anna Jay. Anna Jay has tremendous potential. She's fine in the ring. Just associating with Jericho is a really bad idea. I'll choke you out. She starts choking out some guy. And JR says when they go back to the live feed, what a way to go. JR, she is young enough to be your granddaughter. The fuck? Goddamn, JR. Hornier than an early Chicago album, as Trace Beaulieu once said, on the Cinematic Titanic episode. Nobody has any idea what that is. So basically we get the Guns coming out in their entrance, or in their gear. I believe it was Austin, I think, that was dressed up a bit like, he was kind of dressed up like, in dumpster gear, which was kind of hilarious. The Acclaim then attacked Billy, Shades of Mania 14. Oh, Billy. And then they beat up the Guns. And then Caster does a rap, says, no filter on Instagram will, make the ass boys retire like Vince McMahon. That got a pop. Then he says, we'll beat you down. You know the rest. I'm more positive than Joe Biden's COVID test. That's funny. See, that kind of political satire, regardless of what side of the fence you fall on, is funny. I like that. And then they did it was a dumpster match. This is where the weapon stuff meant something, but it's still blended together. I love Aubrey. Poor Aubrey. I mean, I love Aubrey. I wish they wouldn't involve her in so many of these matches that are just weapons based, but whatever, it is what it is. I like Aubrey. Maybe it's just because I met her at multiple shows and I just want her to be the very best. She is one of the best referees, in my personal opinion. But that being said, they did the spots, they did a stage dive, and the Guns went into the dumpster, and they close it, and there you go. That's pretty much it right there. It wasn't a bad match. It's just all this weapons stuff, all this weapons-based stuff just blends together. It just gets to where, okay, it is what it is. So now, they then ran the dumpster off the stage. Oh my God, there's people in there. I tried to do the JR thing leading up to Mania 14, but I didn't have the enthusiasm. So, live Rampage, because then they're taping Battle of the Belts. It's Moxley versus Mance Warner, who won a bunkhouse match on the pre-show for Ric Flair's last match when they had GCW Invasion. That fucking garbage, base promotion that actually has featured some good talent that don't always work those shows, but Nick Gage, Joey Janela, and other people. They also booked AJ Gray not too long after he was exposed hitting on a minor. So fuck Game Changer Wrestling. What the fuck is wrong with you? Brett Lauderdale or whatever is like, you can go to fucking Lauderdale, Florida and never come back as far as I'm concerned. Mance Warner, though, okay, whatever. I haven't really seen Mance Warner work, so let's see how that goes. Madison Rayne debuts. She's going to be working as a producer, I believe, in the women's division. Good for her. And Lee and Swerve against Nice and Josh Woods in a street fight. Please feature Josh Woods pretty well because he's actually talented. Battle of the Belts 3, Claudio versus Takeshita. ROH title, Rosa versus Hayter in a AEW Women's Championship match, and Lethal versus Wardlow for the TNT title. And then Dynamite Quick by the Lake. Lucha Bros, Andrade El Olio, and Roosh are taking on each other in a tornado tag or some match of some variety. Some stipulation of some kind. It's going to be hard for me to remember. Brody versus Darby in a coffin match, and Jade's Open Challenge. Oh boy. Good. That's just what I want to see. Regal joins commentary for Wheeler Yuta with Claudio in his corner versus Jericho with the former 2.0 guys. Winner faces Moxley next week at Quick by the Lake. Okay. Jericho has a busted nose, so Wheeler flicked his nose. Got your nose. Okay. Wheeler can do the moves. He's not bad. He had a good showing in the Best of Super Juniors. He's not my favorite, but he's pretty good in the ring. Jericho used to be. Jericho's fucking washed. Can barely do anything. Almost did a bad line, almost landed badly on a Lion Salt. And Wheeler kept coming back, got the seatbelt clutch. But then, Jericho had been working on the back and eventually locked on the walls. No, it was a Lion Tamer and tapped him out. Oh no. And then Wild Thing plays. Moxley runs him off and Jericho says, I'm going to stretch the shit out of you. Of course you fucking are, Jericho. Of course you are. So, yeah, there you go. We'll see how Quick by the Lake goes. But first we have a live Rampage and we have AEW Battle of the Belts 3. And I also got to review the New Japan G1 Climax show on Saturday and the other one on Sunday. A lot of wrestling to review that during that time period. Anyway, agree, disagree what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.